going on, Tallahassee? It is Thursday, November 29th, 2018. Welcome to our edition of FSU Weather. I'm meteorologist Jay Karstens.
And I'm student meteorologist Harrison Prieto here to talk about the weather.
Yeah, and here we are 2 days removed, or 2 days away from meteorological winter, which will be getting started on Saturday. Starting to see that cooling trend that we've really seen earlier on in the week begin to fade out just a little bit.
Yeah, and we're going to get into the weekend here where those rain chances are going to come back. We're going to start to warm up. And we're going to have a risk for severe weather here coming on Saturday.
Yeah, with that, as you said already, those warmer temperatures will be kind of coming back into the picture. We're going to have more for you guys later on, breaking down that severe threat that's possible for us on Saturday, especially for areas of the southeast as early as really tomorrow in parts of, say, Louisiana, Arkansas.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's just going to go ahead and make its way towards Tallahassee. We also have a few events going on in Tallahassee that we're going to hash out a little bit later. The Tallahassee Winter Festival is going on.
Yeah, Michael and I will be breaking that down in a little bit more detail. And this is, of course, our Thursday show with AJ Willie as our producer for the day. He's got that lifestyle forecast ready to go, one of my favorite parts of the show every week here.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll have your golf forecast as we always do.
I thought that was one of our banned words pre-show.
Well, there it is. Already on it.
Sorry, Michael, there you got your quota met for the day.
Yeah.
All right, well, again, we'll have more for about all of that stuff going on later on in the show. For now, we'll start by breaking down things a little bit locally here. We got Dylan Leith out the wall with an overview of what to expect in tonight's show.
Well, you guys talked about banned words. Well, I'm going to talk about high pressure is not dominating, since we always say that, and that's a banned word. This high pressure is here, but it's not as strong as we're used to at this time. You see a bit of clouds and some showers making its way into Tallahassee. You have more showers confined to the coast, but a lot of these clouds are going to help us keep a little bit cooler today on our highs, but a little bit warmer on our lows. So it is a double-edged sword. We're going to wake up not as cold tomorrow morning, only waking up to 45 degrees, not seeing those 32s, 31s, 29s. It's been cold the last couple of days. This is definitely welcome. Your heating bill will thank you a little bit. Don't have to turn on the heat that much tonight with 45 degrees, but hey, that's still kind of cold. And throughout much of the region with that cloud cover, it's going to be warmer as well, getting up back into the 50s in St. Mark's and 54 in Apalachicola, into the mid to lower 40s down farther inland. Quincy or Bainbridge at 47 degrees over there. So a little bit warmer with the cloud cover, keeping the radiative cooling at night down into the atmosphere, keeping things just a little bit warmer. And then coming up on today's show, we're going to talk about your beautiful Friday right before we get into your rainy weekend. And with that rain comes a bit of heat, so we're not going to see those cool temperatures as we've seen. We're getting back into the 80s. Ew, 80s. But now let's send it over to Sloan with a look at the local.
Thanks. So as Dylan already said, it's been a pretty much cooler day here in Tallahassee. 65 degrees, which is below average for this time of year, and that low of 34. But that's still higher than our record low of 25, but the 65 is lower, a bit warmer than our record high of 83. If we take a look at the satellite and radar, Dylan already said there's not a lot going on due to that weak high pressure that's taking up much of the southeast, but these clouds are coming onshore, cooling us off again with a coastal shower down there at East Point right now. If we take a look at the nation currently, though, we'll see this high pressure system that we've been talking about that's sort of pushing that moisture a bit more south, but expected to leave the area the next few days, which we'll see this weekend when those rain chances increase, as was mentioned in the beginning of the show. Temperatures currently, cloud cover in Tallahassee. If you're outside, you've seen some clouds roll through the area, but temperatures are mostly sticking around the 50-degree mark right now. A bit warmer down there at the coast, but comfortable temperatures all around. Taking a look at the dew points, you do see we're pretty dry for this time of year, despite the moisture that is coming onshore right now. But this is causing us not to feel as muggy, which is really nice, comfortable weather outside today. Speaking of that moisture, we see these winds are coming onshore from the Gulf, bringing that onshore, which causes those coastal cities to be a bit warmer, making it feel a bit warmer for them as well. For the next 24 hours, we can see those clouds do clear up overnight, expected to be cooler as well tonight, and tomorrow morning, a chilly start again, which we've been seeing this whole week, but it'll heat up tomorrow. And especially with those clouds coming back, it'll keep us a bit cooler, a bit more comfortable, but still temperatures are expected to be warmer than they have been this past week. Again, for tonight, 45 degrees as your low, partly cloudy conditions. Those clouds should linger till about midnight tonight, but expect them to clear up in the morning. And then tomorrow, have those temperatures in the 70s, much warmer than we've seen this week. Today, I believe we were like in the 60s and 50s for much of the Big Bend region, but clear skies for most of the region. Maybe a few cloud cover here and there. We did see those clouds come onshore from the Gulf, but taking a look at the next 7 days, we see these rain chances increase immediately on Saturday at 80%, causing us to warm up to near 80 going into Sunday and Monday. But over the next few days and next week, we do see these temperatures cool back off again as the rain leaves, and those lows also getting back into the 40s and 30s. This weekend might not be the best time for you to go out and see Christmas lights around, or maybe buy a Christmas tree, but maybe towards the end of next week will be perfect weather for you to go out, get a Christmas tree, look at Christmas lights, especially down in Thomasville. I'm going to pass things off to Jake for the Southeast.
Thanks a lot, Sloan. Continuing a little bit, those warmer temperatures are going to be on the way here, getting up to about 78 degrees, as you said earlier on. The rest of the Southeast, we're starting to see the pattern changing a little bit. We're talking about 70 degrees in Shreveport right now under cloudy skies, 67 over in Jackson, Mississippi as I step off to the side. The coolest weather is actually currently occurring in the state of Florida. A bit of an oddball there, but we're starting to see the evidence of that pattern change, especially off to our west, and that's what we're going to need to keep our eyes on for tomorrow as well as into Saturday for much of this region, with the threat of severe weather looming its ugly head, unfortunately, for some of these spots. And these dew point values are very high as well, getting up into the middle 60s in parts of Louisiana, 65 in New Orleans as well as in Shreveport, getting all the way up into areas like Memphis and Little Rock with some of that more muggy air. And so that's going to start to filter on further to the east as another wave of low pressure starts to sweep its way into the eastern portions of the area. These winds still indicate the presence of that high pressure. This is the part where I redeem myself for my error on Tuesday, as Jennifer called me out on that. I said counterclockwise rotation around a high pressure, and I completely traced things in a clockwise manner. I'm going to make up for that mistake right here because, yes, the winds do go clockwise around a high, and I am not altering time on you guys in any way, shape, or form. So these winds are now starting to turn out of the south in parts of Florida, especially out in the western Florida panhandle. This is what we tend to see out ahead of these frontal systems, ahead of these low pressures, and usually one of the ingredients that we need to help for these thunderstorms to start to really build. And as we'll see later on in the national segment, the Arklatex region and parts of Mississippi and Alabama for the next few days is really going to be the hot spot for the potential for some severe weather going forward, really starting again on starting tomorrow. As for now, though, not really too much going on across the region thanks to that high pressure that's currently over southeastern Georgia, slowly sliding off the coast here, and we're going to start to see that more unsettled pattern creeping in with some of these rain showers already starting to build off to the west of our immediate area, parts of southern Mississippi getting in on a little bit of the action right about now, as well as near the Houston metro. Not too much more than just some pretty light showers in those regions. But this pattern's going to change as we work into the future. For the rest of the night tonight, not really too much going on. Some light showers, maybe some rumbles of thunder up to the north and parts of Alabama, but we'll start to see more of that building tomorrow evening here with this area just to the south of Little Rock being under an enhanced level 3 out of 5 risk for severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center. We'll have the detailed outlook of that again later on with Michael in just a little bit, and that will begin to slide further to the east here with Tallahassee staying dry for most of the day tomorrow before things begin to deteriorate Friday night into Saturday for us. As for tonight's forecast, lows are going to be in the 60s here, so that really tells you how this pattern has changed off to our west. 64 degrees in New Orleans, with the chance of thunderstorms sticking around in Shreveport as well at that nighttime low of 64 degrees. A little bit cooler off to the east, still 44 in Tallahassee, but that's going to be the last cool night for us here around town, with temperatures beginning to rebound to right around average for us. 72 degrees for that afternoon high in Tallahassee, and the storms really start to build tomorrow afternoon in parts of the western portion of the southeast. For now, I'm going to take things back to the desk where Sammy and Sloan are standing by.
Thanks, Jake. Speaking of storms, the weather world still has its eyes on California that were just devastated by the fires that one of them was the most devastating, the Camp Fire, most devastating fire that they have faced. But now they have this rain coming onshore into their area, causing some serious issues there.
Lots of rain, even snow in parts of the eastern half of California. There's high surfs, so California is just really getting hit hard within the next few days. It could even trigger mudslides and debris.
And flooding is especially another concern when it comes to heavy rainfall like this, especially for a place that's been so dry for so long, which is what triggered those fires in the first place.
Yeah, so it's definitely a problem if if they actually do get this amount of rain that they're expecting, Central California is under a slight risk of excessive rainfall right now, flood watches. So it's really a scary time for California.
It'll bring some relief to them with those drought conditions, but overall, I think it's been excessive rain that will cause a lot of other effects with it. But for now, we're going to take things back to Michael to look at the national.
Well, thanks, Sammy and Sloan. So you can see how we do have warmer air down towards Texas. That's all due to the high pressure system currently situated in the southern portion of the southeast, and the southerly winds are actually bringing warmer and more humid air down towards Texas. However, across the northern tier, you're still under those cooler conditions, pretty cold up towards Minneapolis and Chicago and Detroit, with 30s there, and cooler conditions still in Florida because you're still experiencing the northerly winds behind that front that moved through earlier this week. Now, we do have some weather in California, and that's the makings of the next big storm system impacting a lot of the nation going into this weekend. Now, with those southerly winds in Texas and in the central Gulf Coast states, you can see the moisture is starting to return from the Gulf, and that moisture is going to increase as we go into tomorrow, leading to a severe weather threat in the Arklatex region, and we're going to get into that in just a few minutes. Dew points are still relatively low down towards Florida, again, because of those northerly winds, and still with the Arctic air in place in the northern tier, you still have drier dew points well into the 20s. Now, you can see not much moisture going on across much of the country. However, as we look towards the west coast, see a lot of moisture, and yes, they do need the rain up towards Northern California, but this is causing a lot of mudslides and a lot of concerns in terms of flooding. So yes, we are going to get a lot of rain there, and that's going to be the next maker of the big storm system affecting tomorrow, the Arklatex region, and then going into the eastern two-thirds of the nation on this weekend. There's the beginning stages of that system with a lot of rain in the valleys and along the coast, with snow in the Sierra Nevada mountains. You can see pretty heavy snow, and notice how the moisture, it just stops once you go after the mountains. That's because it basically rains itself out once you go into Nevada. But very persistent heavy rains in the Scarboroughs, especially in Northern California, and also down towards the valleys in Los Angeles. So we do have flooding concerns due to the soil down there. And we also have winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings up towards the Sierra Nevada mountains. Now up towards the Midwest, some showers due to a stalled out boundary, but that low pressure system in California, they're going to be on the northern side of that system, so the colder air with the moisture combining is expecting a lot of snow in northern Kansas and some South Dakota, so we have a winter storm warning until Sunday evening. Now, for tomorrow, we are expecting that low pressure system to emerge out of the Rockies, and with the moisture coming from the Gulf and more humid air, we are expecting a severe weather threat, highest in the Arklatex, but also all the way down to the northern Gulf Coast and up towards southern Missouri. And then going into your Saturday, we will have to watch the severe weather threat with that low pressure system down towards Tallahassee and the southeast, all the way up to Missouri and Illinois. But for tonight, warmer across the south, colder across the north. And for tomorrow, we will watch the Memphis region and the Arklatex region for the severe weather threat. But for now, we're going to send it off to Sloan with a look at Florida.
Speaking of those clouds I was talking about earlier, we've seen them all around the state of Florida, as we do see right now. Key West seems to be the only place in sight with clear skies, but temperatures are slowly increasing as we go to South Florida from the 50s to 60s, while Pensacola over there is at 65, so a bit warmer over there. And then dew points, we're pretty much dry for most of the state, which is something we haven't seen in a while here. We do see some moisture down there between West Palm Beach and Miami, but for the most point, we're pretty dry as a state. Those clouds are coming onshore. The Gulf states, or the Gulf counties rather, can experience a few coastal showers here or there, but nothing too significant right now. And as mentioned earlier, those clouds should linger into the evening as well, but hopefully clear up by tomorrow morning for a lot of the region. Here we can see those showers I was just mentioning coming onshore a bit south of Fort Myers there, but for most of South Florida, we do see a lot of clouds in sight, but other than that, not a lot coming to them right now. For tomorrow, expected to be pretty warm for most of South Florida, in the 80s for a lot of the region, Homestead, Key West, and Naples. And then we do see those clouds come back into the picture. And then for tomorrow, there we go. The clouds are coming throughout most of the state again. High pressure is doing a good job of keeping that moisture offshore, but it's not that strong, so expect it to, again, move away from the southeast United States, opening it up for a lot of rain to come into the northeast region as well. Tomorrow, temperatures in the 70s for the northeast. Clouds again in sight, not as much as we've seen. No showers in sight for them, which is really nice as well. Satellite and radar, we do see, again, for the Panhandle, clouds, a few coastal showers. You saw there in East Point in the beginning of the show. They're still there right now. But for tomorrow, temperatures in the mid-70s, much warmer than what they've been seeing these past few days. They've been the same boat we've been in, a bit cooler temperatures. But for tonight, a lot of the state is in the 40s for the northern, and then as we go south, you see we do get into the 60s. Key West being the warmest at 68. Cloud cover lingering overnight, but that's expected, and that high pressure still keeping those rain showers off in the evening, causing us to be pretty dry overnight. Your temperatures are in the 70s throughout the state. Key West down there in the 80s, but pretty warm. So again, tomorrow's the day where you shouldn't wear layers outside because you're probably going to take them off anyways for a majority of the state. Now we're going to pass things back to Harrison to take a look at what's happening in Tallahassee.
Well, thank you, Sloan. And now we're going to go ahead and take a look at those current conditions. Well, apologize for that. It looks like we didn't have the screen adjusted quite right. But now we do. And it's currently 53 degrees outside. We do have overcast conditions, and we do have calm winds currently. We're in the mid-50s across most of the region. Bainbridge, you guys are a little warmer at 59 and a little warmer down near the coast in Apalachicola at 57. Our dew points are still dry, although they have started to go ahead and come back up as moisture starts to return in advance of that next front. We're around 44 in Tallahassee, 48 in Thomasville. We do have those winds coming out of the southeast now, and that is going to help return the moisture and some of those warmer conditions as we get into the weekend. Across the nation, we've got not a whole lot going on in the east at the moment as this dome of high pressure sits over Georgia, but we do have that returning flow in the upper levels out of the southwest. That's going to bring in some moisture ahead of that next front, and it's going to get rainy here in Tallahassee. Zooming in a little bit into our area, we are a little overcast right now, but not a whole lot of rain going on. That's going to begin to increase as we get into your Friday evening and Saturday morning. Our futurecast kind of shows that here with your Thursday and Friday. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot, and then those clouds will start to return. You can see them coming on into the futurecast as we get into Friday, and if this were to keep going out, we'd start to see that rain build in. For tonight, we are going to be in the mid-40s, so not quite as cold as we have been, but it's still going to be a little chilly. You might need a jacket if you want to go outside, maybe go hang out with some friends, whatever your plans might be. We will be cloudy, and that is also going to help keep those temperatures from dropping into those 30s where we have been. And our winds should remain calm for the most part across the region. And then tomorrow's forecast, where our highs should be in the 70s for the most part, lower 70s. Not too cold. We were in the 60s today, so this is a nice rebound. Maybe go outside, walk your dog. It's going to feel great. We've got those sunny conditions around Tallahassee. And then the western portions of the viewing area, you guys are actually going to see those clouds return a little bit, whereas Thomasville and Valdosta, we should stay a little more sunny. Our 7-day, look at this. We have a beautiful Friday, but then as we get into the weekend and next Monday and Tuesday, those rain showers and rain chances are going to return, and those temperatures are going to increase near 80 degrees on Sunday, and then we're going to start dipping down with the passage of our next cold front. One thing I do want to talk about real quick is that on Saturday we do have that potential for severe weather, and then Sunday and Monday and Tuesday, again, we will be expecting a little rain. Now we're going to go ahead and send things over to Jake and Michael for a quick desk before we bring Dylan back to the wall.
Well, thanks, Harrison. With December starting on Saturday and all of us in the cheerful holiday spirit, the Tallahassee Winter Festival is on Saturday.
Yeah, we're going to have to see what the weather's going to hold in store, but we here at FSU Weather are ardent in the power of positivity, so we're going to talk to you guys about some of the stuff that you can do out there should the weather hold up for you guys.
Yeah, so it is in the evening from 3 to 10 p.m. We have a lot of local dance teams and local performances at the Winter Festival.
Yeah, so some of the high school dance teams, Childs, Leon High, the bands, the choirs, you're going to see all that. 4 different stages going to be set up at different locations in and around downtown Tallahassee.
Yeah, with the Pleman Plaza,
Yep.
Ponce de Leon, that's just some of a few in the downtown area. And so we do have stuff at First Baptist Church and Adams Street as well, and City Hall.
Yeah, there's going to be entertainment going on all the way from 3 p.m. until 10 o'clock on Saturday. Things get really started at 3 o'clock. And then the official lighting festival here, the nighttime lighting festival, will take place at 6 o'clock. That's really when the action starts to get going for us out there.
Yeah, one of the things I'm looking forward to, the Candy Cane Lane, where you see all the holiday-themed decorations.
Yeah, it's
Very
been
exciting.
described as a bit of a Christmas memoir, essentially. You get to walk through, hear the sights, and hear the sights. Did I really just say that? See the sights, hear the sounds of the holiday season. It's been a long week for all of us here. It's going to be in McCarty Park. It's not too far from the Capitol, right next to Ponce de Leon Park,
Yep.
right near Monroe Street out there.
And if you're a runner, I'm not a runner, but we do have the Cinco Bell run at 6:15 p.m.
Yeah, you need to register for that. Still some time to get that done, as well as the holiday parade going down Monroe Street at 7:15 p.m.
Yeah.
Again, we'll see how the weather's looking for that.
Yep.
For now, we're actually going to find out exactly how it's going to look with Dylan out at the wall.
Look, I'm a little sad about it, but the weather's not going to look great. 80% chance of rain at 3 p.m., dropping only to 70% chance of rain throughout the rest of the event into the 10 o'clock. So not the best conditions. It is warm at 70 degrees, but that's not going to be good if it's raining. There is a possibility that the event might be canceled depending on the threat of severe weather as well. We did see that slight risk out there. So depending on how the weather pulls out, this event might be canceled, but it is on as of now. Going on to your golf forecast, look, they mentioned it at the beginning desk. We got to cover it now. Actually, a good day for golf tomorrow, honestly. 47 degrees, waking up at 8 a.m. If you're not working on a Friday, 47 degrees and golfing, not bad. Only warming up to 70 degrees about 3 p.m. Great conditions. Go out to the range, even if you can't play a round of golf. Going out there to the course, definitely a good idea for sure. And then if you're going out tomorrow night, something to do, it's not a bad night. But you're going to start to see the rain come into the area about tomorrow night as well. 58 degrees, not as cold, not going to need 4 or 5 layers. I don't know, 5 layers is insane, but 3 layers, not as bad. But a little bit of a wind picking up just ahead of that frontal boundary. So we're going to see some windy conditions and a bit of rain as well. And if you want to go for your tree farm forecast, look, meteorological winter starts on Saturday, December 1st, and we're getting into the December season. If you want to go out to the tree farm, unfortunately not great conditions on Sunday as well. Seeing rain all throughout the day. 71 degrees as your low at 8 o'clock, and then 76. So not a big temperature swing as we look at that. Not the best conditions for that. And then Hanukkah starting on Sunday night. If you want to know your forecast for that, 73 degrees, a little bit of raining. Good to be inside and light the menorah. Not a bad condition for that. And then as we look at your 3-day forecast, you do see clear skies tomorrow, absolutely good day. But then as we get into your Saturday and Sunday, those rain chances bump up and we see some ugly conditions throughout. But now let's send it over to Sammy with your local forecast.
All right, well, thank you so much, Dylan. So we are actually taking a look at our time lapse through today. It was a pretty nice day out. We get to see lots of blue there. And even going into now, you can start to see that sun setting. Our current conditions, though, we're sitting about 53 degrees. Now, that's pretty close to what our high was yesterday. So it's nice having a little bit of wiggle room. They're getting into the 60s today. Perry, 52, while Apalachicola down at the coast is a nice 57 degrees out right now. Our dew points, though, a little bit lower, looking at around 44 for Tallahassee, 48 for Thomasville. Definitely more dry, but it's comfortable outside, so we like that here in the Tallahassee area. Looking at our big picture, you can see we have this high pressure system, but that isn't really taking too much of a dominant effect here in Tallahassee because we are going to get some rain here this weekend. Looking through the overnight hours, though, you can see we are going to be pretty clear out tonight and into tomorrow morning. If we look at that, some clouds will start to creep in throughout the day. It will be a fairly nice day out, though, for tomorrow. For tonight's forecast, 45 degrees, partly cloudy, so it will be feeling a lot nicer out tonight if you're heading to the library or even up early morning hours. It's going to feel nicer than it was this morning. Looking at tomorrow's forecast for Tallahassee, 72 degrees. It's nice to have those 70s back here in Tallahassee. Perry 73 in Apalachicola. Down at the coast, a nice 71 degrees. So pretty sunny, and being in the 70s will make tomorrow a very nice day. Waking up tomorrow around 48 degrees, no longer in the 30s, so that's pretty nice to have for especially going into December, winter. We will warm up into the 70s tomorrow, around 70 degrees at 4 p.m. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast, Friday looking like a beautiful day at 72, only 20% chance of rain. Until you get to the weekend, 80% chance on Saturday, 60% chance on Sunday. I know the National Weather Service actually predicted Saturday to be 100% chance of rain. So regardless, you are going to need that umbrella on Saturday and into Sunday as well. And we'll take a look at these temperatures sticking in the 70s through Saturday, Sunday, Monday, before it finally goes into the 60s for the rest of your week next week. For now, we're going to take it to the closing desk with Michael and Dylan.
Thank you very much, Sammy. Well, this is kind of reminiscent of like Thanksgiving week for the folks that were in town. It was cloudy most of the weekend.
Yeah.
We're going to see rain. It's going to be an indoor kind of weekend, but then into the week, some good conditions coming back.
Well, you probably know this already. Take advantage of Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Do anything you want to do outside. Like you said, head out to the golf course.
It's honestly great conditions. Thanks, Michael, for mentioning the golf course again. It's great conditions tomorrow. Going to need a light jacket, not a heavy jacket, not as bad as the last couple of days. Honestly, I've slimmed down my layers. I hope you have too.
Yeah, this morning it was much better compared to the last few mornings, and that's going to continue. It's going to feel more humid outside. It won't actually feel like winter. It's going to feel like springtime. Like the Winter Festival on Saturday.
Right. It's a good happy medium. We're not freezing so much. It's not too cold. You're going to need your 12 hot chocolates just to stay warm.
Yeah, but the front's going to linger for at least 4 days, going from Saturday to Tuesday. Then behind the front, you get another cool shot of air. See, temperatures actually going down to the 30s once again.
It's like Florida doesn't know what it wants you to wear for the next couple of days. I mean, it's coldish tomorrow, warm and then rainy, raincoat, and then cold again.
Yeah, it wasn't a good idea to book that round of golf on Saturday, but you know what? We're going to try.
Have different outfits is the key, too. I mean, you got to have your rain outfit, cold outfit, different outfits.
Yeah, and we'll keep you posted on the severe weather threat on Saturday. Once again, we are under a slight risk. That's basically the entire panhandle and southern Alabama is under a slight risk for severe weather. So might just want to stay weather aware on Saturday.
Yeah. Tune into tomorrow's show. We'll cover it as well and talk about the changes from from today into tomorrow and see how that comes out as it moves farther eastward.
Yeah, but at least the good news. Look at the temperatures; they're warmer because we'll be in the warm sector of this storm. So it'll be much warmer compared to what it was earlier this week.
Honestly, trying to crack the 80s, and that's not the best conditions in terms of heat. We don't need that heat to come back.
Yeah, it won't feel like winter for the Winter Festival, unfortunately.
Again, keep up to date with talgov.com just to see for updates on that event as we get closer to it as well.
Yeah, so again, it's basically the weekend is not going to be good, but might want to have a backup plan being indoors, but there might be some dry slots in between. We're not expecting a huge washout kind of thing.
For all of us here at FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Dylan Leith.
And I'm student meteorologist Michael Onnen. Have a great night.